Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's video newsletter is going to be when to stop asking her out after no contact works and why. Why you stop asking her out. So, for those of you that are in a situation you're trying to either reattract an ex or you started dating a girl but she wasn't completely done with her ex, or maybe you started dating a girl you really liked, and without realizing it, you talked, texted, and chased her out of your life to the point where she went cold. This email is like one of those fine-tuning kind of emails to help you understand no contact and the philosophy behind it. And because if you go no contact, there are going to be instances, depending upon how badly you screwed things up. And like this guy, he's in his mid-30s. He's broken up and got back together several times with his ex. But as he said, he really couldn't handle it emotionally every time she came back. And he made the mistake of not following the script that's in 7 Principles Get an Ex Back. So every time she came back, they started hanging out, having fun, hooking up. He just couldn't help it. He started calling, over pursuing, chasing her. And if you're the one that's gotten dumped, you go no contact typically because you're stuck in friend zone or you're dealing with a girl that's confused about her feelings. And the reality is when you love and value yourself and you are an actual high value man, you're going to seek your purpose and mission above all other things. And if a cute fair maiden can't make up her mind or she's indecisive or she's confused, that's okay. Let her be present with her confusion. Tell her to get in touch if she ever changes her mind. And you're going to go on about your life because you want somebody who's single and ready to mingle, not a girl that's sitting on the fence. You want a girl that'll jump a fence to be with you. And so what this guy made the mistake was he over pursued, chased her out of his life. He backed off, went no contact. Then she came back. And then he started pursuing again because he was so afraid of losing her. We have 2 primary fears. Fear that we're not enough. In other words, we don't have what it takes. We're not man enough, whatever that happens to be. And the other fear is fear that we won't be loved. And when we're driven by our fears and we don't pay attention to that, we fall under what I discuss in 3% Man as the illusion of action. For those of you that haven't read it yet, it's free to read at understandingrelationships.com. Just subscribe to the free email newsletter and it'll open up right in your web browser and you can start reading right now instantly. So what typically happens, guys don't know any better, or guys that, like in this case, just can't control themselves because the thought of being without the girl is just so terrifying. Because remember, we do more to avoid pain than we do to gain pleasure. In this case, if you fear losing somebody, you're trying to avoid the pain. And when you're trying to avoid the pain without realizing it, you call, you text, you pursue. And if you chased a woman out of your life and then she comes back when you go no contact, the last thing you want to do is start chasing her again. Because initially her interest will be high, but then as you start to chase and pursue, it no longer is her idea. You're over pursuing, overcompensating because you're driven by fear, not by your expression of your love and desire for her or your attraction for her. And so what happens is these guys start pursuing, she starts backing off, then the same thing happens all over again. She becomes confused, she becomes unsure, then you kind of get stuck in limbo, and this can go on for many weeks and months, sometimes years. Especially when a guy obsesses over a girl, he chases her away, then he backs off, she comes back, and he just can't or won't control himself. This is called emotional self-control. And as a man, you have to have it. And if you don't have it, women are not going to feel safe. And when they start to back off, you'll chase them right back out of your life. So the proper response, as 7 Principles Get an Ex Back says, if she unilaterally ended the relationship, if she broke things off, then when she comes back, you assume she wants to see you. You make a date in the evening at your place to make dinner. You don't go to coffee. You don't go to lunches. You don't do group dates. You don't meet on neutral ground. Because the idea is that you're open to giving her another chance to win you over. Not, oh, I got to get her back. How can I get her back? How can I get her to like me again? How can I get her to be attracted to me again? Because that's all attention seeking and validation seeking. And that's feminine energy. The girl comes back, and then what happens is the guys start acting like girls again. And it ruins the sexual polarity. You're not acting like a man, basically. And then she backs off, and you start to pursue more. Since you chased her away, at that point, your pursuit is over forever. Forever and ever and ever. That means your whole life. That means if she does come back, you just make dates. She has to come to your place 3 dates in a row to make dinner together, hang out, have fun, hook up all 3 times. And if she's flexible and submissive and does that, and you hook up all 3 times, then after that, when she contacts you first, then you can meet her out and pick her up and go on dates. But what you'll notice is, say you have 3 or 4 dates, 5 dates, 6 dates, and then you start calling her first to make dates to speed things up a little bit, because again, guys are driven by fear typically, then what happens is it's no longer her idea. Women need time and space away from you to wonder about you, to think about you, to miss you, and for their feelings to develop. And when a woman's coming back after no contact, and then you start re-engaging and pursuing again, then you're not giving her enough time and space for those feelings to develop, because you're desperate and you're fearful that you're going to lose her again. And then what happens is you keep chasing and you don't pay attention. She becomes disinterested. She calls you less. She texts you less. You get less emojis in the text. Her replies are shorter. She takes longer to text you back. And this is just the natural progression. And if you don't fix this with this particular girl, you'll chase her out of your life for good, or into the arms of another guy who does act like a man consistently, and you'll lose her to somebody else. And then the next girl comes along, if you do the same thing, you'll lose her for exactly the same reason. So this is something that you must master if you want to keep women around in your life, if you want them to feel safe with you. Indifference makes the difference. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, you must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. And so what this guy's been doing is now making his girlfriend feel free. It's not her idea to come back. And he's chasing her and seeking her attention and validation instead of letting her seek his. It's a huge difference. Subtle difference, but it's the difference that makes the difference. And if you don't get it right, you're going to have the same problem, whether it's maintaining attraction and trying to get a girlfriend, or once you have a girlfriend and you still love the girl and you want her to stick around, by getting her to willingly stick around and want to be with you and stuck to you like a suckerfish, like I talk about in my book. It's not an easy art to master, especially if you didn't get enough strokes and enough love and enough hugs as a kid. You have to understand how that affects you and how it causes you to act in unattractive ways. It's not attractive to be needy. It's not attractive as a man to seek a woman's validation and attention. And the same thing goes for lesbian and gay relationships. When the masculine essence acts too feminine, it ruins the sexual polarity. And everybody turns their partners off for the same exact reasons. It's easy to understand and listen to this as we're discussing this, but when you're in it and you really love a girl and you love her more than you've ever loved anybody and you want her to love you back and you're afraid of losing her, what you fear you attract, and what you look at disappears. In other words, it's like a game of chicken. You have to learn to always be willing to move last. It's a scary thought for a guy that's never done that. And it gets easier after the first time you've done it successfully, and then the second and the third and the fourth. And mastering this really is a series of letting go of your attachment, letting go of her behavior, letting go of your frustration and getting upset when the kitty cat takes off. Masculinity is calm. And so I'm sitting here and I got the 2 pups with me. And everybody loves the dogs. Girls love the dogs. Universally, when I take them out for a walk, women everywhere just fucking melt over these puppies. And everybody just can't keep their hands off them. And they love being around them. And, you know, Ocean, the girl, some men she barks at. She doesn't feel safe with them. Rocky, he loves everybody. But it's interesting, some men don't make her feel safe because they're not calm. And so over the last week, some of you guys may have noticed in the comments, there was a dude, he was really mad because he had approached, I think it was 7 women that he claimed were definitely into him. And he was like, I waited 5 days and then I reached out. I followed your rule, coach. And I got rejected. Your rule doesn't work. I was like, well, there's no rule there, bro. These are guidelines. You can make an instant date in the spot. You could seduce her that afternoon. All these things are laid out in the book. But what I told him and what the other commenters in some of the comment threads, because he posted on a bunch of videos, was like, he's not calm. He's not happy. And so even if a woman finds you physically attractive, when she starts engaging with you, the vibe is going to be off. They're not going to feel safe. They'll give you the number to get rid of you, but when you call or you text, they're not going to respond, or they're going to blow you off, or they're going to cancel, or they just simply won't make plans with you. So it's super important to get to a calm place. I also had, you know, we've had members content for closing in on a year. We started doing this. And I had one guy last week that was really angry and really pissed off about the puppies. And how he didn't sign up to listen to me use dogs as an example. And they shouldn't be on camera with me. And this is like, I don't really care what the reason was he signed up. He's not going to lecture me. This is how I like to do things. And I'm trying to demonstrate things that are important to understand. And if you don't like the way I teach, I mean, hey, there's 41 million other YouTube channels. And so the idea is that you can't let other people dictate how you live. And so that guy, we ended up blocking him just because he was being an angry, pissed off asshole. And when you have a dude that's angry and pissed off, of course they're going to be frustrated. Women aren't going to feel safe around him, just like Ocean. When she gets around a guy that he may be smiling and appear like he's doing the right things, but inside he's ready to fucking explode. Right, Ocean? He's ready to explode, and she senses it. She doesn't feel safe. And so if you're a guy that's talking to and engaging with women and you're not in a happy place and you're angry, you got to get to a happy place where you're calm, and you're relaxed, and you're peaceful, because women like that. Women want to feel safe around you. And if you're just bubbling inside, ready to explode at a moment's notice, women can feel that. They can sense that. Animals, they can sense that. They won't come near you. These dogs, they won't come near everybody. Some people, they just completely avoid. Same thing with children. If you get upset or angry around children or kids avoid you, you're not calm. It's a sign of a man who is very masculine. If he's calm, wherever he goes, the kids want to hang out with him and the pets want to be near him. If you're not calm, everybody's going to avoid you, and the women are going to avoid you too. So that's something that you got to think about. And obviously this emailer, the reason I went this little diatribe, he's not really completely calm. He's full of fear and he's upset. So every time his girl comes back, she doesn't really feel safe around him. So let's go through his email. Coach, I'm in a bit of dilemma with an ex that I still have strong feelings for. Quick background here. I dated her and lived with her for a few years. We broke up for a few months. She moved back home, out of state. We got back together. She moved back and then broke up with me about 6 months later. And now it's been 5 months since we broke up and 4 months since we've last seen each other. We are in our mid-30s. The second breakup was tough. I've read your book a few times. So when I see somebody, I read your book a few times. I kind of thumb through it a little bit. Just looking for the quick fix, the pickup line that's going to solve everything. The magic phrase that'll make the panties drop and just solve all my problems. You got to understand the philosophy. And again, the most important thing for us guys to do is we got to get to a happy place. A place where we're calm, a place where we're relaxed, we're peaceful, we don't get angry. Because if we're angry and we're bubbling rage inside, especially like a lot of the dudes in the red pill community are like, women are not going to feel safe around you. Animals are not going to feel safe around you. Kids are not going to feel safe around you. And if that is happening, you need to focus first and foremost on getting to a happy place where you're relaxed, you're easygoing, easy to get along with. Because again, masculinity is calm. It's not angry. It's not pissed off. It's playful. It's fun. It's relaxed. It's calm. It's infinitely patient. And if animals make you impatient, if kids make you impatient, if you get annoyed with women, women are going to avoid you like the plague. So again, first and foremost, you got to get to a happy place. And now I got somebody banging on the slab. That's great. So, hey, that's the way it happens. Shit happens. You sit down to film a video and somebody wants to smash on the slab. And then that'll drive the dogs crazy because they're going to want to bark. But, hey, when stuff like that happens, again, can you maintain your calmness? If somebody cuts you off in traffic, can you remain calm? Or do you fucking explode at them? Go into road rage or cut them off? So you got to think about these things. Whatever you focus on is going to expand. So focus on things that help you be calm and relaxed and peaceful. So as he said, I've read your book a few times and I've watched a ton of your videos. I didn't stick to the script on 7 Principles Get an Ex Back, and it really killed my chances as I over-pursued until she basically lost attraction and I acted like a total beta, which is not who I am. In other words, you lost your shit. I just couldn't control my emotions. It's not that you couldn't control them, you chose not to. And when you came across my work, it's great that you're here, but you got to take this seriously. This is your life. This is your relationship. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to fix this for you. You have to fix this within yourself, because if you don't, you're going to keep chasing women out of your life in perpetuity. They won't want to stick around. So Rocky's laying in my lap. Ocean's gone out to check things out. She'll probably be back in a little while. Again, even though she's a female dog, she acts like a cat. Do you get upset at that? No. You must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. Before this video is over, she'll probably come back and want to hop back up in the chair. It's just the way they are. So understand that about women. Don't get mad. Don't get butthurt when they leave you or they seem a little distant. That's just the way they are. It's just a wave of emotion and energy. It's up and down. It's up and down. They're really hot for you, and then it seems like they want to get away from you. They're really hot for you, and then don't take it personally. It's like Mother Nature. Getting mad at the weather, it's like, come on. It's a waste of energy. As Rumi said, sell your cleverness and purchase bewilderment. Be bewildered. Don't be bitter about women. Be bewildered and amused and enchanted. Back in September, I finally tapped out and told her to enjoy her life and I'd stop pursuing her. She had some boxes left behind that I shipped to her. I paid $1,000 in shipping and was moving on with my life. After about 3 weeks, she found a way to get back into my life. And when she reached out, I responded that it would be nice to see her. I'd be traveling right in the middle of where we both lived. Look who's back. Come on up. Come on. Where we both lived in 2 weeks, and we should get together then. Now she's like needy. Yeah, show me attention. She went dark on me after I asked. And then a week later, she said she had some medicine being sent to my condo. So it's another thing. It's kind of like leaving the lipstick behind. In this case, she's sending medicine to his condo. So for whatever reason, she said, I can't ship it to my address. I got to send it to yours. That seems pretty obvious that she's doing it because it gives her a reason to contact him. And so what it looks like is there's probably some other dude in the picture that maybe she's talking to. Because again, feminine energy is just seeking somebody that will be calm and masculine and relaxed. Not a dude that's bitter and angry, but a guy that's calm, that's happy when she's there, that's okay when she leaves, that's happy to see her when she comes back, just like I was when Ocean came back. I was happy to see her. I wasn't like, ah! That's basically the way a lot of men are. When a girl comes there and they're like, ah! It freaks them out. It scares them away, right? It scares them. You got to be calm. They don't feel safe. Because if you're upset, they come to you. You're supposed to be the mountain. You're supposed to be the safety. You're supposed to have all the peace and the comfort and the relaxation and the fun. Because when you make a safe environment, feminine energy really can bloom. And then you can be enchanted and bewildered by the beautiful feminine creature that's coming back into your life. She's unable to ship to where she lives because of the distance. And maybe if we got together as I invited her, that I could just bring the medicine with me. I was super excited and told her all good and to let me know about getting together, and which she never did. Again, it's just like the cat. When Ocean decided to go out and roam the living room, it was like, I didn't get upset. I didn't grab her or pick her back up or say, hey, get back here. I just let her go. Rocky stays there the whole fucking time. He doesn't go anywhere. It's a good metaphor for how girls are. Don't take it personally. That's just the way they are, man. That trip and those days came and went. I never hit her up. And the last day of my trip is when she texted me that she had a dream that I got married and hoped I had a good trip. I would have been like, well, obviously she must have been pretty cute. Throughout my trip, she was also watching my stories almost daily while she wasn't following my Instagram account. So she's trying to see what he's doing, what he's up to. That shows interest. Again, it's just a clue. It doesn't mean she definitely wants your cock. It just definitely means she's interested and she's trying to figure out what you're up to and what you're doing. Meaning she was going out of her way to see what I was up to since my account is public. I felt like I was winning her attraction back. See, that's the wrong mindset. Winning her attraction back. No. No, bro. She has to earn another chance with you, not the other way around. This is detailed in 7 Principles Connects Back. And so when I see things like this in a letter, you may just look at that and go, oh, it's a sentence in a letter. Like, no, that's his mindset. I felt like I was winning her attraction back. That tells you his mindset is he's got her on a pedestal, he's seeking her attention and validation, and overall his behavior really hasn't changed much. I responded to her message telling her I'd still like to see her and we should meet next week as I was pretty flexible with my work schedule. She told me a family member was diagnosed with a medical condition and she couldn't do it, but would like to see me in a few weeks. So he's asked her out. She says, oh, maybe in a few weeks. Dangling the carrot. So whatever is going on in her life, she needs more time. Probably there's another dude she's talking to. That's just reality. This is what's going to happen when you chase her away. I see guys in a comment, I would never take an ex back. An ex is an ex for a reason, coach. It's like, well, this guy chased her away, and he wants to get her back, and he wants to keep her back. He's having a hard time maintaining attraction because he doesn't have emotional self-control. And at the end of the day, those guys that talk like that and they get real angry and butthurt, they take it personally when the girl gets rejected. And it makes it really hard for them to be introspective and look at themselves and go, you know, maybe it was my fault. Maybe it was my unattractive behavior that chased her away. Long story short, she dangled seeing me in a few weeks to get me to send her medicine and then was unable to see me the time she said she'd be free. Probably because he kept following up with her. Again, you shouldn't be doing any pursuing. You wait to hear from her, make a date. And you're only going to ask twice when she reaches out. So if she reaches out, you try to set a date, she says no, or I can't, or I'm busy. Then the next time she reaches out, try to make a date. If she won't, then you're just not going to ask anymore. And then at that point, you'll be polite. You'll just have the attitude of, well, she's not making any effort. Maybe she's seeing somebody else. Maybe I ruined it for good. Maybe I just turned her off one too many times, and we're at the point of no return. So let me focus on my purpose with my personal life, which is I want somebody that's single and ready to mingle and who would jump fences to be with me. So that's where your attention's going to go. And so at that point, you're basically going to treat her, how would you treat her if you're tired of fucking her? You'll be nice, you'll be respectful, but you're not inviting any sexual attention. You're not trying to seduce her. You're not trying to get together. You're just trying to be polite. You don't want to make her feel bad. You just want to get off the phone and go about your life and your business. That was 3 weeks ago, and I've been in no contact since. She'll pop up and watch my Instagram stories without following me every 7 days or so. I'm unsure how to take that. It's just a piece of data. That's it. Is she just checking in on me? Yep. Because she wonders, well, if I don't get my shit together, maybe I lose him to somebody else. But every time you start chasing her again, she knows she can have you. So if I was a betting man, she's probably talking to another guy. And it's just because, as you said, you didn't maintain self-control. Feminine energy needs calm masculine energy. That's why they're going to flee from you. Seeing if I have a girl in my life or poking me, so I reach out to her, missing me. It could be all of the above, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You've asked twice, so you're not going to ask anymore. Yesterday, I received another package of her medicine to my condo, even though we haven't spoken over 3 weeks. Well, I wouldn't do anything with it. Just set it aside. If it's important, she'll get in touch. Instead of being pissed at how insensitive it is, there's no reason. That's not insensitive. It's just the way women are. Again, you don't get angry at women. You don't get angry at puppies. You don't get angry at kids, even though you're going to get irritated when they shit on the floor or whatever, or they do something obnoxious. But you can't get angry because you got to create a safe environment. So this is part of the problem. You can't get mad and blow your top. You got to be calm. It's like all the podcasts I do with the girls. It's like we're joking around and we're having a good time. Sometimes it might get a little intense, but generally we're having a good time. It's playful. It's fun. I want to have a good time. I turned 55 in a few weeks. It's like I want to chill. I don't want to stress out. I did all those crazy things in my 20s, my 30s, my teenage years. And then when you get to a level of success in life, you just want peace. And you want people that bring peace into your life. And those that don't, those that are full of chaos, they can fucking go on down the road. Because it's just not worth it. There's way more nice people that are easygoing, easy to get along with, than to put up with some emotionally hijacked, angry, unhappy person. She'll obviously have to reach out to me in the next day or two regarding her medicine and ask me to send it to her. I know 7 Principles Get an X-Back says you only ask your ex twice to get together and then never do it again. But in this situation, when you live a flight away and have broken up and gotten back together and now broken up, should I follow the same rules? Bro, what does that tell you about his mindset? This is the illusion of action, trying to creep back in. This is the problem he's always had. He's not been willing to exercise self-control. And he knows what 7 Principles Get an X-Back says. He even mentioned earlier in the email that he didn't follow it the last time. And he knows that by not following it, he chased her away. And now here he is thinking about when he hears from her again, does he continue to violate 7 Principles Get an X-Back? It's laid out. It's like, no, you don't keep asking. Because you've asked multiple times. You've tried to give her an opportunity to win you back over, but neither time, but because he's in the mindset of seeking your attention and validation, he's not able to see that. It's called a scotoma. So the rules for this, they still apply. You've asked twice, and she won't bring it up. Now, if you met somebody else or you were tired of fucking her or bored, what would happen? You wouldn't bring up ever getting together again. You would just be focusing on hanging out, having fun, and hooking up with somebody who was single and ready to mingle, and who wasn't sitting on a fence being confused or living a plane ride away. Also, for background, I've asked her twice since I tapped out in September, but before that, I asked her another 2 to 3 times the previous 3 months. So again, he's asked her 5 or 6 times in a row to get together, and each time he says no. And so what does he say in the email? Hey, do I keep chasing her? When he says I lost her because I kept chasing her. He literally chased her to the point where she just stopped responding. And once she finally ghosted him, each of those previous breakups, he just stopped pursuing because he's like, well, she's not even responding at this point. And so you have to start to see and make the connection of what you're doing wrong. Again, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll continue to get what you've always got. Even though he knows his behavior got him rejected each time, he's asking me in the same email, hey, should I continue the same behavior that's always got me rejected? It's kind of a stupid question, but again, he's emotionally anchored to this. Plus, when you take into account all the movies and the TV shows that he's watched since he was a little boy that's told him to be this way and emotionally anchored him to be this way, that's, again, whatever you observe, you participate in. And so if you're only consuming TV and movies and you're half-assed in reading the book, you're not really going to notice enough what's in the book and what's reality and how they're different and how you need to actually behave. Otherwise, you're just acting like a brainwashed fucking robot that does what the TV told you to do, which clearly ain't working. It has sure felt like when I don't reach out, she comes back and pokes me with something. And then as soon as I say, let's get together, well, that's why it tells you after 2 times you stop asking. And she knows she still has me in the bullpen. She goes back to limited interest. So I'm unsure how to play this latest situation. It's not that you're unsure, dude. You just don't want to do what you've been instructed to do, even though each time you try it your way, you get nowhere. But it's like he's kind of committed to it. And sometimes a guy has to lose a girl like this permanently, or 2 or 3 of them, before he finally is like, okay, I'm really going to take this reading this book 10 to 15 times seriously. And most importantly, I'm going to go out there and apply it. Because you can read a book 100 times, but if you never practice it, or in this guy's case, you do the opposite, you're not going to get anywhere. And that's on you. You got to participate in your own rescue, dude. You know what to do, but you're still, even at the end of this email, you're still asking me, hey, if it's okay to keep doing your failed approach. Well, if you're happy with the results you're getting, yeah, blow her phone up. See how that works for you. Come on, man. Jump up and down so your balls finally drop. Get some other women in your life. Get some other choices and some other options. Plus, on top of this, girl's a plane ride away. That's expensive. Find a girl that's in your city who's hot and single and ready to mingle, instead of obsessing over this girl and continually chasing her out of your life. So if you got a question or challenge and you want to get my help with, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. If you guys haven't already signed up for our paying members only content, in the description of this video, there are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify, or you can join the website, understandingrelationships.com. Just click the plans tab when you get there. And on the website, you can sign up and do a 7-day free trial with a monthly or annual plan. And if you choose an annual plan, you'll get a 25% discount for paying the whole year's premium up front. And so what you'll get is 5 additional paid video coaching newsletters per week, similar to this one. We have a weekly 3% Man study group podcast, a weekly Mastering Yourself study group podcast, where we literally go page by page in both my books. It's like an ongoing weekly class with myself and the girls and Chunky, so we get the girls' perspective on things. Plenty of examples, their own lives and their own relationships, and how guys do things that turn them on and turn them off, so you guys can see in real time what I describe in my book as being accurate. So go there now, and plus we have lots of other videos. I think there's several hundred members-only videos on YouTube, on Spotify, and the website. And so the website, you also get the email analysis that goes along with it. But there are going to be videos that are only going to be on my website and Spotify, just because I can't post them to YouTube. YouTube is basically G and PG rated. Anything that's a little too upsetting, I just can't put it on there, or they'll remove it. So again, understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, go there now and sign up for a free trial. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.